What Mia did next saved thousands of lives, but turned her into the target of every terrorist cell in America. Euro 58-14. Euro 58-13. Less than an hour until detonation. Mia watched through the office window as Agent Williams walked through the front door, right on schedule despite being late. "1 vanilla latte extra shot," Williams called out to the front counter, not seeing Mia trapped in the back office with Jake. This was Mia's only chance. Jake was focused on his laptop, coordinating final details with his network. The 3 terrorists were outside, preparing for the explosion. Agent Williams was 15 feet away. Mia made a decision that would either save thousands of lives or get her killed trying. She grabbed Jake's laptop and smashed it against the wall, sending sparks flying and cutting his communication with the terror network. Before Jake could react, she screamed at the top of her lungs, "Agent Williams, bomb, Federal Building, Ryson!" Jake lunged for her, but Mia was already moving. 3 years of navigating cramped coffee shop spaces had taught her to move fast in tight quarters. She burst through the office door as Jake shouted in Arabic. The 3 terrorists spun toward her, hands reaching inside their jackets. Agent Williams's training kicked in instantly. One look at Mia's terrified face, one glance at the men reaching for weapons, and she was already on her radio. "Federal Building evacuation, code black, possible chemical attack, multiple suspects armed." 52-37, 052-36. But Mia realized the countdown was still running, and Jake still had the detonator. The coffee shop bomb would still explode, destroying evidence and giving the terrorists time to escape. Agent Williams drew her weapon, but the 3 terrorists had positioned themselves behind innocent customers. A grandmother reading her newspaper, a college student on his laptop, a mother with her toddler. "Nobody moves," one terrorist shouted, "or we detonate everything right now." Mia looked at the device still warm in her palm. The backup detonator Jake didn't know she had, the one that could either trigger early detonation or, if she was right about the wiring, completely disable the bomb. She had seconds to make a choice that would determine whether hundreds of people lived or died. Mia thought about every customer she'd served over 3 years. Federal employees protecting the country, parents bringing their children to daycare, security guards keeping people safe. All of them would die if she made the wrong choice. She closed her eyes and crushed the backup detonator under her foot. The coffee shop went silent except for the sound of electronic components frying. Jake's face went white as his primary device showed connection lost. Without the backup signal, the coffee shop bomb was disabled, but Agent Williams was already coordinating the larger response. Federal Building water supply quarantined, food service arrested, rice and antidote being distributed, nationwide alert issued for sleeper cells. Warmraag. The countdown stopped. Within minutes, FBI units surrounded downtown Brew. Within hours, raids were happening in 12 cities based on Jake's computer files. Within days, an entire domestic terror network had been dismantled. But Mia's real victory came 3 months later. Agent Williams visited the coffee shop on its reopening day under new management. "Your vanilla latte," Mia said, setting down the familiar cup. "You know," Williams said, "I've been coming here for 3 years and you always remembered exactly how I liked my coffee. That attention to detail saved a lot of lives." Mia looked around the bustling coffee shop, filled with federal employees, families, and children who were alive, because she'd noticed the wrong conversation at the wrong time. "Sometimes," Mia said, "the most important thing you can do is pay attention to what seems ordinary." The barista who'd been invisible to most customers had become the person who stopped America, his deadliest terror plot. What would you do if you realized that your ordinary job put you in the perfect position to protect extraordinary things? Mia's story proves that heroes aren't born. They're ordinary people who choose to act when it matters most. If you work in service industries, remember that you see patterns and hear conversations others miss. What seemingly ordinary detail might you be overlooking that could change everything?